original rainforests on Vancouver Island, to stand in front of these gigantic trees that grow here over millennia, it's a truly humbling experience. And yet they are being logged at an extraordinary rate. Here on Vancouver Island, we're down to just 5% left of these valley bottoms, which allow for the biggest trees to grow. At this rate, we will have lost all of it within a decade. So Embers and the Giants is a IMAX commission which will present a complex old-growth rainforest here on Vancouver Island. And in the forest appears to be thousands of floating embers of light. And upon viewing it, people might assume that they're looking at fireflies. But as they watch, they notice that something's not quite right, which then leads thinking the fact that perhaps they're looking at thousands of tiny drones. And what I'm trying to suggest with the work is that perhaps we will face a time in the future when we have to amplify the spectacle of nature, as though it's not spectacle enough, but we have to amplify it artificially in order to convince the public of its worth.
Okay.
What science fiction film?
Okay. 40 years ago, I lived in Vancouver. I lived in Vancouver Island in a float camp, logging camp called Port Hardy. I was up so high, the ocean looked as big as a golf ball. I used to swim with the killer whales because it was a float camp on oil barges. I used to walk these forests, and my father logged these forests in Prince George, British Columbia. These are the originators of the BC ancient forests, the originators. They will never come back again because 75% is now all gone to logging. And these trees take hundreds of years to grow. So I'm also very saddened by British Columbia and the logging that's going on there, because British Columbia is noted for the largest, beautiful trees in Canada, along with the Rocky Mountains and the sea. And when we lose these gigantic trees to, again, the greed and the survival of our animals who live there, and the grizzlies who live there, the salmon that run through the rivers there, and the people who make a living there, many Indian reservations there. I'm very saddened. David Suzuki lives there, and you would think that he would help the BC forests, the originators of the history of the hugest trees in the world. What are we supposed to do now? It's all too late.